Okay, we are officially recording now. I think, yes. Welcome, everybody. I think everybody knows me by now. I'm not sure if everybody from Zambia knows my face, but they probably know my voice. But welcome and thank you for joining us because it's just such a crazy time. And this project isn't a priority, and of course it's not. But I just thought it'd be really nice for us all to say hi, check in, hear from each other and pencil in a few ways forward if we can. Okay. I'm acknowledging that this is just such a weird time, and you know, you're all working in the special educational needs sector, which makes it even more challenging. So I am not here to pressure project targets at all, because that's not even my role. I'm here to just see to help you and guide you through. So everyone's pressing pause, but it's just a nice chance for us to say hi and see that everybody is healthy and doing okay. So if we could do a little quick introduction around the screen, because not everybody's been in the meeting together before, and tell us who you are and what school you're in and who you're partnered with, and if there's been any communication in the last couple of months, really, nothing about activity, just a little update about your partnership. Okay, so Mandy, I'll come to you because you're up there first, my love.
That's okay. I'm Mandy from the Holly School. It's a primary school for children with autism. I'm working with a class of 10 and they years 3 and 4, which is lovely. I've been in touch with my partner briefly, intermittently, which is Bellany School. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I did send some photographs of the snow when we had the snow. Quite exciting for our school at the moment is we've put in an application for an edible playground, which I thought might be quite a nice project going forward to share, because it can link to some of our SDGs as well.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed for that.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I've not heard of that before.
I think they've named it an edible playground. It's sort of like based on an allotment type thing, which would be good for our children because they like eating, touching, smelling. So it's about planting things and encouraging the children to plant fruit, vegetables, anything that we can grow, but things that would be safe for them if they do eat it.
Yeah.
And we thought to involve the community, perhaps we could get, some community groups to donate some seeds or plants. And then if it's successful and we have excess of things, it's something we could give back to the community, families that perhaps, with the food banks or anything like that. So yeah, that's quite exciting.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So you've got the funding for that?
No, we're still, it's looking positive, but we haven't had confirmation yet, but fingers crossed.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. That fits perfectly into the SDGs. So bringing all of that together is fantastic. Wonderful. Okay, thanks, Mandy. Right, if I don't have everyone's names on here, so forgive me. We've got HB. So do you want to unmute, sir, and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm HB Mwemba.
From Boleni.
Bauleni.
Brilliant.
Bauleni, special school. Yeah, it's pronounced as Bauleni Special School.
Bauleni, yeah.
Yeah, we as a school we are running a grade system where we have from preschool. Of course, we are using again a mixture of the disabilities. So we have the preschool up to grade 7. We are using that system. Basically, like during this COVID time, we have a bit of some challenges. Government gave us an allowance that we can open. but very restricted in terms of how many hours we can operate.
Yeah.
And we've just been given 2 hours. And
Okay.
children, they come, and when they come, be in class. Once they are done, they're supposed to go home.
Okay.
No one is allowed to remain to do any extra activities. So
Yeah.
we have looked at the core business. What exactly do we need to do? So at that 2 hours we can utilize it, because it doesn't even allow children to be outside, to mix with other learners from somewhere, because of they're coming from different places. So there's this fear that possibly if they were to mix and meet, they may infect each other. So henceforth, when they knock off, we don't actually see them, they go.
Yeah, they go
So
straight.
they go straight home. So this has posed a bit of some challenge in terms of planning any extra co-curriculum activities for the school. We still hope that possibly as we go, it may just be like in third term when it becomes a bit warmer. Because when it's warmer here, I think the cases of COVID-19 are a bit reduced.
Yeah.
But now we are going into the winter season, which we are likely to have an increase in terms of the cases. So that is posing another challenge. We are hoping that it will reduce, but as we go into cold season, we don't know how we are going to operate. Yeah. So basically, in terms of the school operations, we are very limited. We have tried to look at what is it that we can do, but we are using this new policy, the new normal.
The new normal.
Yeah, where you can't just plan anything outside what the school wants to achieve.
Do the learners come though? Are they attending for those 2 hours?
Yeah, they come, but not in quite good numbers. Parents are still scared to send their learners to come to school, because most of them, they use minibuses, and these minibuses, public transport, they fear that they may catch COVID. So they are still skeptical on whether to allow them to go. It's wait and see the situation, how it is going to be. Yeah. So possibly by next week, we may have the number increasing, because we have not had any case being reported from the school sections, either from the teacher or from the learner's point of view. But parents, they are not very sure what is going to happen next. So that is the position that we have right now.
Okay, thank you. That's really, really helpful update and extremely challenging. But it's good that you can share, and at least we can communicate as a professional group. And it might not be any learner activity happening, but we will move on.
Hello, hi. Thanks for calling.
No problem. Can you mute?
Yeah, numerous.
There we go. Okay, brilliant. I'll come on to Amy. Can you just have it? Well, you've already told me, but if you share to the group a little bit of an update, please, and say who your partner is, please.
Obviously my name's Amy, and I'm from Cantonian High School, which is a mainstream school, and the children I work with are in an SRB. My main contact I speak to is Mercy, and she's part of the Justin Cabway Combined School.
Yeah.
If I'm pronouncing it right. We did a bit of work when this project first started. We did arts and crafts, and we made drums, we did music, and we learned a bit about sort of the different types of music that's sort of celebrated out there. We made masks, tribal masks. We made some posters regarding recycling for school. We looked at the food waste in the canteen, and how the canteen's gone from using like plastic cutlery and things like that, and now we use wooden cutlery, so it's a lot easier to recycle, and it's better for the environment. The school now actually doesn't cook until the registers have been taken, so they don't have any food waste, or very little food waste. And I do believe now, if we do have food waste, it's passed on to somebody else that can use it. We also got a school garden, and before COVID hit, we were growing our own. So we had strawberries. I think Kirsty we had gooseberries this year as well. Tomatoes came out of the garden this year, and we had potatoes. We were quite successful with potatoes this year. And the children enjoy sort of putting little packages together and taking them home. We also do a lot of cooking, so the garden, whatever's produced in the garden, we made jam this year, and then that's put back into the community then. It's sold, and then some money gets donated to the local charities, or it gets put back into the base for the children then to do more projects. I started a new project with them last year. We did a lot of upcycling and recycling things for our summerly and winterly phase. We use sort of rocks and glass, the washed up glass you find on the beach and driftwood. And we made a lot of art with that. So we've done some things, but it is at complete standstill at the moment because of lack of engagement.
Yeah, and it's impossible to do anything with any kind of depth like this online, isn't it, really? But that's so much progress in terms of your SDG activity in school.
Yeah, I did
wonderful.
try to log it in the personal log, sort of with the dates of when we did the activities, and I did put them on Twitter and things like that. And I have got the children's work displayed on the wall in my classroom. It's just we've hit the standstill, and I just don't know where to go from here until things sort of a little bit more normal.
Yeah, well, we'll hopefully we'll come up with an idea at the end of the meeting, hopefully, and also maybe a further idea for sharing, because Twitter's brilliant, but I know that everybody in Zambia is on Twitter, so I think I might suggest another way in which we can share past progress as well. But that's brilliant, Amy. Thank you so much. Can I come to Diana? I know you haven't done anything, Diana, but can you introduce yourself and pop your screen on if possible? You there? Oh, I think she's just gone. Oh no, she's gone. Okay, can I come to Nancy? Are you there, Nancy? Oh, she's coming back in. Bear with me.
Hello?
There we go. Hi, Nancy. How are you?
I'm okay, Sharon. How are you?
I'm good. Can you reintroduce yourself and say which school you're from and everything for everybody, please?
I'm from Tamani Primary School in the Copper Belt, Kitwe. As my fellow...
Oh, your sound is going in and out. I'll come back. Yeah, your sound is cutting off, Nancy. I'll come back to you shortly, see if your network is a bit stronger, okay?
All right, okay.
Okay. As soon as you want to speak, sometimes it gets really, really quiet, isn't it? Diana, are you back in the room? I'm not sure.
Yes, I'm back.
There we go. Can you introduce
yourself? But the network is bad.
Well, if you introduce yourself quickly, please.
Okay. My name is Diana. I'm coming from China Special School. It is an inclusive school which has children without disability, the so-called normal, and then the hearing impaired, the physically challenged, and the intellectually, the ones with intellectual disabilities, like children with autism, we have them all.
Okay.
And then our school, it has, we use levels. There is preschool to level 3. Then when they reach in level 3, we take them to either skills. If we feel they can't do anything academically, we take them for skills. And then if we feel they can proceed academically, we take them to grade 6. so that they can progress to grade 8.
Okay.
And then in skills, we teach them weaving, baking, gardening, just survival skills.
Yeah, yeah. Is that
That's
the
how I can-
department that you're in?
I'm teaching the hearing impaired.
Okay.
Yes.
And are those learners coming into school at the moment?
At the moment, they've not reported on due to the fact that parents are scared for this COVID-19. But at the moment, I just have 4 of them.
Yeah, 4. Okay. And are they in all day, or is it the 2 hours a day?
It's about 3 hours a day.
Okay.
Because I don't exchange with any other class.
Okay. Okay. And Diana's linked to Riverbank, and Jess has sent her apologies. She can't come to the meeting today. But we'll have to rearrange another catch up, because Jess is really new to the project as well. Because you didn't know anything, Diana, really before now, did you, about the project?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about what is going on. Me and Jessie, we've not done anything yet so far because I was at another school.
Yeah.
So we've not done anything yet.
Yeah. Okay, no worries. It's the same for most people. Okay. It's been a very strange year, so don't stress about that. And I still see that the next few months are just about you as teachers getting to know each other and, you know, develop your professional knowledge about the global goals, because you can't do anything else.
Yes.
I have a small child trying to get in the room, so I do apologise if you all end up meeting my daughter in a second. Right, Janet, thank you, Diana. Janet, are you there, my dear?
Yes, I am, but I'm having a problem with my camera at the moment, so it'll just be my voice. I'm
No
afraid
problem.
to say.
I am
So-
recording, so if you want to just introduce yourself to everybody that's going to see the recording and give us a little update if you can.
Okay, so I'm Janet and I work in Whitchurch High School and I'm in the specialist resource space there, and I work with the age 16 plus pupils, but I also have a year 9 class, so that is 13 to 14.
Yeah.
So I think then, yes, age 13 to 14. So a lot of the things I've done, I've based around working with the class, the year 9 class, because I feel it's something that I can carry on to the following year with the sixth form. They'll have like sort of got some contact and then possibly moved on. So I thought I'd start with the year 9 pupils. I'm linked with Makona School, and I originally was contact with Ruth and Malenga, but they've said that the teachers who are probably the best suited to be in contact with the pupils I work with are Funa and Nora.
Okay.
So what we've done so far, we've had a little bit of contact. The pupils did, we've got display board in the year 9 classroom now, so that all their work that we've been putting on there, they sent questions via WhatsApp. I sent some pictures of how you celebrate Christmas, and then when we went into lockdown, I had some replies and they loved the replies. They were really pleased with them, so I showed them that. And on St. Dwynwen's Day, they've sent me pictures and messages to stick together, so I put a little card together to send out to Zambia as well.
Oh, lovely.
So
Lovely.
that would be quite nice as well. I was thinking, because they're a class who really like to do art and drawing and things, of whether to look at some Zambian artists and compare them, and then maybe see what we could use as recycling items to possibly recreate. So I was going to contact the school with any ideas they had of the best artists that we could sort of study as a and transfer that into recycling as well.
Brilliant, brilliant. And this is good ideas for everybody all around here to try new ways of doing things and new contacts. Because even if your partner school is in a different part of Zambia, any of this information is really good to be shared amongst everybody else. And those new teachers, Janet, are on our group, aren't they? I did add them, I think.
Yes, I think they are. I set up, because my assistant head isn't on our group, I sent up a little group with the school and my assistant head as well, just so that, like, sort of, there were any questions between the schools.
Yeah.
We had that as well.
Brilliant, brilliant. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, now, thank you, Janet. Nancy seems to have dropped out, I think. So everybody's spoken except Emily. Do you want to say a quick hi, Em?
Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Emily Daly. If anybody, I'm working with Sharon over here to on this group. So if anybody in the Cardiff team needs some support or help, I'm your additional contact, as well as Sharon. So I'm here and helping you along. And then we will, if you ever get to meet each other face to face, it'll be my team that manages the travel and the transport and so on for you. So yeah, I'm happy to speak to anybody in between and help you and keep this network going. I have to say, just listening in, so I had to disappear briefly. A call came in and I needed to take it, but everything I've heard so far has been really, really interesting and great ideas for partnerships. And yes, as Sharon says, don't worry, we haven't done a great deal yet. Who could have? It's been a really difficult time. So anything you've done, any contact at all, and I would really encourage the teachers, even if the young people can't speak, to chat away, use the WhatsApp group, use Teams, use Zoom, use any platform you like to just keep in contact and share, even if it's just the odd photograph. Would be good.
Yeah, I the incidentals. What I learned today, which Mr. Mwemba, you told me about, was the 24-hour clock. I didn't know that you only use the 24-hour clock. So I'm talking about PM and AM, and you're like, we don't use that. But it's those incidentals that are brilliant, and that's what this project is, magic for us, to learn the simple things about each other's lives and culture, because I would not have known that. And I could be writing things away and things are lost in translation because it's not common words, common terms. So, those little things, every week, if we can share something in the group every week that's even something silly, or a view from your window or what you've eaten that day, it's really nice little touchstones to keep this project, and like you said, Emily, a network alive, because there's very little project activity at the moment, and that is fine, okay, but let's just keep this partnership going so that it can lead to something, hopefully. Now I did start writing, and we all started inputting on the partnership agreement before Christmas, to hopefully consolidate what this project was. It kind of still stands, so if I can share it and get all of you to have a little check, because we're starting to get some logos in there now as well. It actually still is quite a valid document. Let me just find it on my computer screen. Okay, I'm hoping everybody can see that. Everyone see that? So lots of people managed to put in, using the Google Doc, their information. Some, I'm still waiting on some, but we can fill in the gaps. But there were some really simple things we agreed to do, which was communicating regularly via WhatsApp, taking part in global learning, CPD meaning continuing professional development, and I've got a suggestion about that shortly for everybody, and sharing your learning with learners and staff. So again, emphasis on the staff here rather than the learners. And then some schools will be able to, at some point later this year, lead some action with a learner voice group. That's not going to fit for every school because of their individual needs, but for some that will be okay. And then we agreed that the time frame would be all about sharing now, And then hopefully if there's a bit more normal coming to May, we can start taking action towards the SDG. So it can be something more concrete that you can choose to do in your partnership. And then looking at later this year, we review and report and we share and celebrate the successes. So we just got this really simple framework, which I think still is valid. Now, with the responses from all the schools that replied, the majority want to focus still on SDG 12, looking at responsible consumption and production, but also bringing in elements of SDG 4, quality education, so that this is the bit I think can be worked on now between the teachers, where you are starting to share more about the way in which you work and the strategies that you use and the way in which you structure your classes, how you meet your learners' needs. That's something that could be part of your development now, rather than looking at project activity for the learners. Some said they will be looking at SDG 11 and the wider sustainability issues of cities and communities. Now, for those of you that are really new to the SDGs and you haven't been in any of the meetings previous or read any of the information, I'll share with you a really simple course and a little handbook about the SDGs that can help you get up to speed with that. We've got lots and lots of resources over here, but there is a really good resource from Oxfam and one from Microsoft that I'll share with you. Now, in terms of skills that you wanted to explore with your learners, we had most of the people filling it in wanting to improve communication, creativity, imagination, problem solving, and personal development. And then some schools wanted to focus on digital literacy, critical thinking, collaboration and leadership, and citizenship. But I think everybody is going to be exploring citizenship in some way. It's just the preferences that came out in the survey sat like that. We also tried to think of a name of our project. I've kind of changed it a bit here, but we did get a few contributions. And so we thought that the young people would be ambassadors for the SDGs. But what came up a few times, which was really nice, was the shining for the SDGs, which I quite like. And my experience of working in Lesotho has this brilliant pupil and learner praise where you shine and you share the shine on people, which I think is lovely. So I don't know whether we want to stick with these hashtags maybe, so that the project is shining for the SDGs and then your young people and yourselves are SDG ambassadors. And then on the second page, I do need head teachers' names here, okay, principals. So principals and lead teachers. So I need to get the names in next to the schools. I did want you to use this document yourself, but I think everyone was a bit shy, so that's fine. You can share it with me on WhatsApp, no problem. But because some of the communications have gone a little bit awry, I don't want to put the wrong information on. So if you give me the name of your head teacher, I can put it on. And there was a bit of confusion over these schools, so nobody's here to represent them today, but hopefully somebody can get back to me over this, because I had 2 different people filling out the survey, and I'm not sure which school has actually been in contact with Bryn Deryn. So hopefully when the representatives from those schools see this meeting, they can get back to me. And as you can see, we want the logos. They look fab. Thank you so much for those of you that have shared them with me. You know, the logos are key parts of the identity of your school. And I think in sharing the partnership journeys with staff and learners eventually in your school, you know, you want to be sharing that logo. So make sure you've sent your logo to me via email or WhatsApp, and I can pop that on. And then last of all, we summarised what the signs of success of the project would be. And this was some of the suggestions that people put on the survey. So successful engagement of all stakeholders and awareness of global issue. I might take out the word all, because I think, oh, hang on, I've got somebody in the lobby. Bear with me, and I can let them in. Oh, Nancy's coming back in. This is not like Zoom now, so can you still see my screen? I think you can, yeah, okay. Let me find where it's gone. I might have to stop sharing and then share it again. Bear with me. Right. There we go. Yeah, I think successful engagement of stakeholders. So that could be your learners, your staff, your community. We'll keep that quite open. Professional partnerships that support developments in special education and global learning. And that's particularly what I was just talking about sharing now your context and your strategies and your experiences. That's kind of separate to the chosen SDG initially of responsible consumption. This is now looking at SDG 4. And then awareness raising of the SDGs in general and action to achieve them by 2030, and learner improved independence, literacy skills, and enlightenment for self-sustainability. Now, I'm not sure who wrote that on the survey, but I love that. So if there's anything that you want to change or anything that you are not happy or clear about, please do let me know. This document is collaborative, so the link I sent you means that you can write on it, you can add your logos, you can change words, you can do all of those things. So feel free to do that. But I would like to wrap up that document quite soon, so that at least we have got a baseline, I suppose, and an agreement on what this is. And like I said, if we take all out of it, we're changing the goalpost a little bit so that it's not too target driven, but I still think it's achievable. Okay. Now, in terms of training, now Kim isn't able to join us, and obviously with restrictions in Zambia, I think that's a real challenge. But some of the partners here in Wales have done a course on sustainable partnerships, and I have the PDF that is the foundation of that course. And so I thought it would be a really good opportunity to share that with you in Zambia, let you work through that PDF and read it and start to digest some of the understanding about equity, power, sustainability, how to work in partnership, how to collaborate, and then use your colleagues in Wales as touchstones to have a conversation about some of those key things. Now, let me just share the PDF with you, because it's a really accessible booklet. Let me just find it. I'm always doing this. I have to scour at the screen. Where's it gone? It was open and now it's not. Is it this one? Yes, okay. So it's this booklet from the British Council, Setting Up and Maintaining Equitable and Sustainable Partnerships. And it's just full of really, really good advice, but it does give you different activities as well. So if you have got time now, if you're not teaching full-time in Zambia, it would be worth working through this and using this as a point of conversation with your partner in Wales, especially as many of the partners in Wales have done the actual course. So this isn't new information for them. And so it can really start to generate a professional conversation where you can build a really solid foundation for your partnership rather than constantly feeling like it's not really going anywhere. So that really is my suggestion as moving forward. And this is what I like you, developing a can-do partnership rather than a can't-do partnership. Okay, so I'll share that PDF with everybody so everyone's on the same playing field. And like I said, for those of you that are really at the beginning and you haven't even engaged in the SDGs yet, I'll share the links for those materials again. And so see the next 2 months as a time to build on your professional development. In Wales, you still have the opportunity for courses. I am booking people onto courses in March. So there is a course for enterprising and creative contributors. Sorry, we've got a crying child in the background. Or enterprise and creativity or cross-curricular approaches. There's a few different options that all link in with your global learning journey. So I'll send those links out, but if you do want to complete it before the end of March, which is the end of the financial year, I'll need to kind of get commitment on that quite quickly. Other than that, you could do it all after Easter, okay? the last thing I mentioned, the last thing I want to mention is what I mentioned earlier, is about sharing your journey. So like I said, Twitter's really good from our side because we use it a lot, the schools use it a lot, and it's quite safe in terms of we have permission to share the children's work and maybe images of children that have signed consent. But in Zambia, I'm aware that not many of you use Twitter. So there is another platform called Padlet, which is open source and easy to use. And I use that with many other clusters. And it means that you can upload your work that you've done or any of your learning. You can even have your conversations on there if you wanted to, if you're looking at this Sustainable Partnerships Toolkit. But it's a private space, so you'd only access it with a link. So I'll just share one that I've done earlier. One I've got loads of these with different partnerships. But if I share with you an example of how it looks, you can get it on your phone really easily. Let me just open up. Here's a Wales and Zambia one. So this is with a different cluster. But it just means that if things get lost on WhatsApp or you need to delete WhatsApp or any of your memory issues, things can be saved on here and it's safe. Like I said, it's just a link. Nobody else will have access to it. So this is set up with different columns. So you can scroll right the way down for more resources. And what this cluster has done, you can see they've put columns for each school, and then they're gonna have columns for all their partners, so then their partners can add to it as well. This can be accessed on the phone, but you do need the app to access it on the phone. If you're on your laptop, you can just do it on the website, and you don't necessarily need an account. You can just add things quite easily. And when you click the plus button, you can upload a document, or you can put a link. You can even take photos directly, or you can add videos, you can add audios. It's really, really versatile, and I think it's a really good app to develop your use of if you haven't used it already. And I mean that for everybody involved in the project. So if you'd like me to set up a Padlet for you and get you started, that could be an opportunity. But like I said, things are on pause at the moment, so let's just look at that professional development and maybe use a collaborative site like that slowly and see how we get on. But I'm also aware that pressures are really, really high, so I'm not expecting lots and lots and lots of sharing. But if you think we've still got pretty much a year, not necessarily an academic year, but 10, 11 months where we can be sharing and learning from each other. Okay, I think that's everything I had on my list. Any questions or comments from anybody at the moment? A few people have fallen out of the meeting, but as we're recording, it's always good because we can just share that with everybody.
I was just going to say, the Padlet I really like the sound of, because I don't use Twitter that much.
Okay.
And I just think it might be easier. So if it could be set up, I'd really like that.
Definitely.
Especially because it's so secure as well. That's
Yeah.
be one of the difficulties we're having at the moment, is sharing things as we can't share on WhatsApp.
Yeah. No problem.
Good.
Because of my other job, we've got an account, so I can easily make one, because you get 3 of these boards for free, but then you have to pay to make more. So it's really easy for me to set that up. So I'll do that. No problem.
That's lovely. Thank you.
Okay. Mandy, you got your hand up there?
Yeah, I was just going to say exactly the same as Janet about the Padlet. That looks really good, and we don't, as a school, use Twitter as such at the moment. So yeah, that looks really good.
Okay, brilliant. We'll do that. Okay. Well, a little test for people then. If I put the Padlet together and I share the PDFs I've mentioned and the links I've mentioned on there, we'll try and drive everybody to the Padlet initially. And if people aren't winning with it, then I can share the individual stuff in the WhatsApp group. But it is a lot easier to just upload to one place and then spotlight it in the WhatsApp group with a link. And then everybody can interact on there as well. Okay. All right, shall we say every time we meet, we do say we try to meet, 6 to 8 weeks later, just for another little check-in. Shall we stick with the same pattern? What are we looking at? End of April? Gosh, that just comes around quickly, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. We've got Easter at the beginning of April, haven't we? So shall we pencil in maybe April the 26th, and then confirm closer to the date? Yeah? Brilliant. Okay, folks, I'll follow up my end, and those of you that are keen to continue doing some online CPD, I'll send the dates out for the courses in Wales. But then from the Zambia side, if we use that PDF to build up a conversation with the partners and start to unpick some of the key elements of good practice for global learning and international collaboration, then we're all moving forward together slowly. Fab. Okay, guys, right, enjoy your evenings, and I'll see you in April. And please just, use the WhatsApp at any point, okay?
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sharon.
Lovely to see everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Bye.
coming,
Bye, everybody. Bye.
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 Good to see you.